Japan signed the Hague Convention on the civil aspects of international child abduction in 2014, and that was a major step. And then what unfolded thereafter was very disappointing to very many people. What it's not done is it's not had any influence on access, on visitation, and it's not had any influence on abductions within Japan itself. And if you look at there was I don't know if you noticed, but there was an EU Parliament resolution that was just passed. They condemned Japan for a litany of issues, and it's all kind of under the banner of international child abduction. Were parents living in Tokyo whose kids were taken by their Japanese wife in Japan, and the wives told the foreigners, you're not going to see the children anymore, or something to that effect. I think it's Article 861, the Civil Code of Japan. Yeah. So, I think that article is a plain violation of human rights. It's in plain violation of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. It's in plain violation of the fact that it is fundamental that children have a right to a mother and a father. So that's the one-parent rule. The one-parent rule has been in force forever. It has to be changed. Until it is changed, great injustice will occur whenever there is a divorce and both parents want to be involved in the life of the child in Japan. So it is an outrageous situation. It is a plain violation of human rights, and it damages not only foreigners who are living outside Japan whose children are living in Japan, but it damages families who are living in Japan when both of them are living in Japan. It is also extremely harmful to, say, Japanese mothers who are living in, for example, the United States, who, when their marriage breaks up, want to take their kids home to live in Japan. And the courts in America and throughout the Western world have the power to allow international child relocation if that is best for the children. But when I'm called as an expert witness, as I often am in these cases in an American court, for example, I explain to the judge, if mom takes the kids to Japan, whatever you, American judge, say about how much time dad is going to have with the kids is not going to matter a hoot in Japan. The American court order cannot be registered, cannot be enforced, will not be enforced in Japan. A woman who is divorcing but may very well want to establish a new household. She may want to remarry. And the custom often in Japan is and has been that perhaps her new husband will be the new father and may even adopt the child. And if there is another man hanging around, showing up, interfering and visiting with the children, that's confusing, and it makes the position of the wife quite difficult if she hopes to move on to the next real relationship. There's a famous Supreme Court of Japan case where the judge on the Supreme Court said to the father, if you want to see your children, what I recommend is don't bother them. Hide behind the bushes as they're going to school, and you can see them as they walk past, and that's enough. And so, that is something that we Westerners cannot possibly grasp. The court system is lousy. The court system is pathetic in most areas of family law in Japan, in my opinion. I wrote an article saying something like Japanese family law doesn't even exist, and in a way, and saying it doesn't really exist. It's unusual for the law to do anything in this area that actually is helpful. In conventional family law, child custody cases especially, the courts are impotent and are unwilling to take decisive action. And that creates gigantic problems. And many of my clients in the States and in other Western countries have lost their children to Japan. I don't see a quick fix because the issue is really cultural. There are things that legislation can do and should do. There should be a change in the law to allow joint custody. The Diet in 2019, a committee was set up to look at this question. I think it's really gonna go slow. And I think it's already triggered opposition. I suspect that eventually there'll be some change in the law in that regard. But at every step, you also see ways to slow things down. So it's not as if one day there's going to be a new law and all of a sudden there's going to be sharing and equality and all that good kind of stuff. It ain't going to happen. It'll inch along. It's not going to be 5 years. The next generation, I would say, a couple of decades, let's come back and see what happened. And it ain't going to help all those people, of whom there are so many, who are desperate to see their children and who have been deprived of that for so many years in such a shocking way. And, my heart goes out to them. I'm thinking right now of a family that I know where in Japan, they're both Japanese, they're both professionals. And when they got divorced, and they're both wonderful people and so intelligent and so well educated, but after they got divorced, the father sees the children once a year, and his new children from a new relationship don't know of the existence of the children from the first relationship. And I tell some people here in America about that story. It's certainly shocking.